Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Rakwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone rule well. And the Akim doing the work of Yah Ba'ashim, Yahushua, in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind. As you can see, we have the Northern Kingdom, stranded in a makeshift camp facility, behind a fence. They have to get processed. They're being detained because, they're seeking to better their lives, man. They're depending on Esau's system for survival. And this is the curses that the Lord Yahweh put upon our people. All right, so, it's disheartening, but nonetheless, we got to bear the indignation of the Lord Yahweh. All right, so it's important to understand that the Lord Yahweh has a special deliverance for his people. All right, so I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. And it says, Therefore, you know what? Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Alright? And that's the point right there, man. Because our people, they gotta depend on Esau's society, Esau's financial system, Esau's economy, just to make a living wage, And that's depressing. But nonetheless, you just gotta understand, man, the Lord Yahweh shall put us in this position to show his power. Because our people disobeyed the Lord Yahweh Shai, and we had to pay the price, That's why the Lord Yahweh had to sacrifice his life to redeem the elect, the 1/3 of his people from the coming destruction that will be appearing upon the face of the earth, that will be happening upon the face of the earth. All right. So I'll play the video and you just have a little glimpse of what people got to deal with. This is just an open air, so-called open air facilities. Yep, no protection from the weather. The Israelite woman, she got a cat child, pregnant. The children don't have no proper, clothing to brave the weather when it's cold. Did they got blankets or not? Hey, that's of the Lord to decide. I think that's a mile of blanket right there. Got food. You don't know what the the sanitary conditions there are like. All right, so it's beautiful to know that the Lord Yahweh Shai, is gonna bring people out of this captivity. We gotta go through hell. This is not a joke. All right, so you have to understand. Sad and miserable life people have to go through. You gotta comfort your people, with the Holy Scriptures. When Jake wakes up, man, they'll be so happy that they realize, that the Lord Yahweh shines for them. All right. So I'm going to read the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 19. All right. And it says, Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. So it's a shameful life that our people are living. All the hell and ridicule people have to deal with, and all the oppression. We know there's hope at the end of the tunnel. This dark society of Babylon, Esau's rulership upon the face of the earth, is almost over. And that's why the men of the Lord have to be on the highways and byways proclaiming this knowledge, to the elect, so that way they could spread the word to those that need to hear it too. Alright, so there is no running away from preaching the gospel. Every man has a lot to fulfill. Alright, so this is Isaiah chapter 61, verse 3. I'm going to start from I'm going to start from verse 2. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 2. So it says to proclaim, no, verse 1 is better. It says, the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Ashaba Hashem Kwakadash is upon me, because the Lord Yahweh had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. So our people, they're bound mentally into Esau's system. They kept, hostage, to Esau's system, whatever country our people lives in. So like, they have to go according to Esau's laws, because Esau wants to have control over the nations. Alright, because he wants to have total dominion. Alright, so our people need to have the word of the Abba Shimei Shai to be free. Just like you read in John chapter 8, verse 32, that the word of the Lord Abba Shimei Shai shall set you free. So Isaiah 61, verse 2 says, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. So there's nothing but mourning and sadness and depression in all these detention facilities that our people find themselves in. Alright, just because they're seeking a better life for their people. And we need to find out it's nothing for them to be optimistic about in Babylon, because nothing but anguish and destruction is coming upon this place. They have a better option, a better opportunity, hoping in the Lord. Right? Verse 3 says, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash, that he might be glorified. Alright? So that's exactly what, the men of the Lord are looking forward to. That the Lord Hashem Yahushua will raise his people out of the destitute, standard of living they've been used to. Alright? So this is Joel chapter 2, verse 32. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahweh shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord Yahweh had said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. Alright, so that's exactly what we're looking forward to. We don't have no other option. But the Lord Abba Shimei Shai is the only option we need to keep our mind on. Alright. And then you look at Obadiah chapter 16 and verse 17. It says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. Alright, so they're going to catch hell for disturbing the peace of our people, by laying the yoke heavy upon us. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Alright, so we're going to take over the earth, through the will of Yahweh Shimei Hashem Kakadash, and it's going to be beautiful that we shall encounter righteousness. We're going to be righteous wherever we go. The Lord Yahweh shall be with us. All right. And the final precept, it's Isaiah chapter 49. I'm going to start from verse 22. And it says, Thus said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Rakwakadash, Behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders. Alright, so it's going to be beautiful, man, when these nations realize that, that we are the children of Israel, that the Lord Abashima Shai is going to be showing us some special favor. These nations will flock to us, man. They're going to be glorifying the Lord too. They want to be on that good side. Like, finally, everything that the scriptures talked about is true. It's going to be so beautiful. Then in verse 23 says, And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. So all the elites of these nations, they'll be the ones to be our servants. They'll be there at our beck and call, to clean the yard, farm the land. They'll be our so-called laborers. They'll be attending unto us. There'll be butlers and waitresses, cooks and chefs, cup bearers or whatever they want to call themselves. Hey, seamstresses and fashion designers. Hey, that's exactly what the Lord Yahweh Shai has in store for them. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kwakadash, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Alright, so that was the point, Akim. You gotta have faith in the Lord Ba'ashem Yahushua, that he will look out for you, in these last days, even though you're gonna suffer shame and ridicule, oppression and assault and all these violent acts. Make sure that your faith in the Lord Yahweh Shai stands intact. Because, we're a nation. So our people that are hoping the Lord Yahweh Shai will be delivered. So that way, we'll be in the kingdom, we could rest. We don't have to have faith in a society that's crumbling. So I say, Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kwakadash. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grim Stone Rule Well. And to the Akim, doing the work of your Bashima Shine, sincere and truth. Shalom. Fight the good fight of faith, man. Have hope. This is a low point where our people are in right now, man. We gotta pray the Lord that Bashima Shine deliver us. Alright, Shalom.